For all your t-shirt needs, check out TeePublic's Killer Selection. Follow the link in the description. Hey, what's up, people? Pizzal here, and today I want to talk to you guys about the new Blue Underground 40th Anniversary 3-disc limited edition Blu-ray release for 1979's Zombie, directed by Lucio Fulci. Now, this is partially going to be a review of the movie as well as a review of this Blu-ray release. And I hardly know where to begin with Lucio Fulci's Zombie, and I want to save you guys from having to sit through a 30-plus minute video for me going in depth on Lucio Fulci Zombie and then the extras on this release, because there's a lot for us to sink our teeth into on this Blu-ray release. So I'll just kind of give you the Cliff's Notes version of Zombie and my thoughts on the film. And as far as the plot is concerned, plot schmott, all you need to know about Zombie is that you have a group of people stranded on a desert island where the dead have risen and they are hungry for human flesh. And whether or not you've seen Zombie, I'm sure you've heard about the film's reputation as being a gore-soaked bloodbath. And I can tell you that the movie definitely lives up to that reputation. Zombie features some excellent practical makeup and gore effects that hold up today, even under the scrutiny of 4K, a very crisp, very clear, very clean 4K transfer, which is what we get on this Blu-ray release. They still look absolutely fantastic. We've got great, bloody, nasty bites. We've got innards being eaten. We've got just all manner of depravity in this film. And the calling card for Zombie, this movie's calling card, which I'm sure you've all have heard about, is the sequence involving a very large splinter in a woman's eyeball. Now, I first saw Zombie many, many years ago on VHS. I owned the movie on VHS. I owned at least a couple of different editions on DVD. I own at least 2 different Blu-ray releases for this film, aside from this one. So needless to say, I've seen Zombie many, many times. And every time I see the film and it gets to that sequence, my knee-jerk reaction is absolute cringe at how good it looks and how sort of drawn out it is. It feels like it takes forever, and Fulci is just, it's like Fulci is just gleefully drawing it out. The effect is so good. It's so just gut-wrenching to watch, yet at the same time, the effect is executed so effectively that you're in awe while at the same time trying not to throw up. The other sequence that I'm sure you've all heard about in regards to Zombie, the underwater sequence in which a zombie faces off against a tiger shark. It doesn't make a lick of sense. Why is there a zombie just out in the middle of the ocean? It's as if they were in like a meeting and Fulci was like, you know what would be cool? If a zombie fought a shark. And I'm sure one of the producers was like, a zombie fighting a shark, what does that have to do with this movie? And Fulci was probably like, I don't care. I just want to see it. And so they shot it. And it's freaking amazing. You've got a guy underwater in zombie makeup fighting a tiger shark, a real tiger shark, and tiger sharks are freaking man-eaters. And it's amazing. It's mind-blowing to watch. Again, doesn't make a lick of freaking sense, but it's freaking awesome. Aside from the gore effects in the movie, which are awesome, the zombie makeup effects are also really good in this film. The zombies look great. They are decayed. They are bloody. They are just absolutely nasty. They're all sort of covered in drool and puke and fluids, and they're covered in mud and dirt, and they're just nasty. They are absolutely nasty, but nasty in a great way. This is a great looking movie. The camera work, the cinematography, everything is framed and photographed beautifully. Granted, they're beautifully framing and photographing some really ghastly stuff, but it's still photographed and framed very beautifully. The acting is pretty good all around. The end of the film, which takes place on the Brooklyn Bridge. Here's how big Lucio Fulci's balls were. He flew to America, got a bunch of people together, painted them up as zombies, and said, walk down the Brooklyn Bridge. No permits, nothing. Completely guerrilla style filmmaking. And Fulci's like, I don't care. Come and get me. NYPD, come and get me. My only real qualms with Zombie are some pacing issues here and there. But aside from that, I love this movie. This is one of, if not my favorite Lucio Fulci movie. There's just something about it. The atmosphere, the music, the score, the main theme of this film is absolutely fantastic. It's dreamlike, it's dread-filled, it's nasty, it's gory, it's everything a good zombie movie and a good Lucio Fulci movie should be, is right here in Zombie. If you've not seen Zombie, you owe it to yourself, in my opinion, to go check out Zombie. This Blu-ray release from Blue Underground celebrating the 40th anniversary of the film would be a great way to introduce yourself to the film. If you're a fan of Lucio Fulci's Zombie, you definitely want to look into picking up this Blu-ray release from Blue Underground and adding it to your collection. Let's check out the presentation first. I love this lenticular cover here. There's 3 different lenticular covers. I wanted this one because this is, of course, the infamous splinter in the eye lenticular. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Here is the case for the Blu-ray. Inside we have got disc 1, which is the film, disc 2, which is all the extras, and then we have a third disc, which is the soundtrack to the film. The sleeve is reversible, and on the reverse of the sleeve you have the original artwork, the classic artwork for Lucio Fulci's Zombie. And here is the booklet that comes with the Zombie release. It includes a write-up about the film by Stephen Thrower, and we get some very nice images. As far as picture quality and sound quality on this release sports a new 4K restoration, and I've got to say, it looks phenomenal. It looks great. It's crisp, it's clean, it's clear. This is a phenomenal 4K restoration of Zombie. My only qualm with it is it kind of seemed to me like the underwater sequence with the shark and the zombie was a little darker than I remember it being on prior releases of Zombie. But other than that, the movie looked absolutely fantastic. I would give the picture quality a solid 4.5 out of 5. Same with the audio quality. The movie sounded great as well. The audio quality, I would give a 4.5 out of 5. As far as extras are concerned, on disc 1, we have When the Earth Spits Out the Dead, an interview with Stephen Thrower, author of Beyond Terror, the films of Lucio Fulci. It's 33 minutes and 5 seconds in length. Mr. Thrower discusses Fulci's career pre-Zombie, which were mostly comedies. I thought that was interesting. Before Lucio Fulci did horror, he did a lot of comedies. Very interesting. He discusses Fulci getting hired to direct Zombie Flesh Eaters, which was the first title of the film. He also discusses how Zombie Flesh Eaters was developed to ride the coattails of Romero's Dawn of the Dead. He discusses how Zombie was shot in only 1 month, which is, for as good as that movie looks, for it to have been shot in just 1 month is crazy. Then it debuted in theaters 3 months afterwards. So in less than 6 months, Zombie was filmed, edited, and was in theaters in less than 6 months. Wow, that is freaking crazy. He discusses the makeup effects in the film, the awesome zombie versus shark underwater sequence, and the gut-wrenching splinter in the eye scene. He breaks down just how awe-inspiringly disgusting that sequence is. He discusses the film's success worldwide and how its success created its own imitators. He discusses Fulci's career post-zombie, how the movie was butchered by the censors, and its eventual uncut release. Very nice, very informative interview with Mr. Thrower. We get an optional intro to the film done by Guillermo del Toro, which is very nice. We get trailers, we get TV spots, we get radio spots, and we get a poster and still gallery. We get 2 audio commentaries. The first is an audio commentary with Troy Howarth, author of Splintered Visions, Lucio Fulci, and his films. The second audio commentary is with star Ian McCulloch and Diabolic magazine editor Jason J. Slater. On disc 2, we have Zombie Wasteland, which includes interviews with stars Ian McCulloch, Richard Johnson, and Al Cliver, and actor and stuntman Ottavio Del Acqua from the 2010 Cinema Wasteland Convention in Ohio. It's 22 minutes and 19 seconds in length. They discuss working with Lucio Fulci, his passion, his being a bit of a bully, the fact that he was very hard on the actresses he worked with, particularly if he considered them to be bimbos. They discuss how the film was banned in the UK. Mr. Del Acqua discusses playing the Worm Eye zombie and how the makeup effects team actually sewed the live worms into the makeup appliance to keep them attached. They discuss attending conventions and meeting fans of Zombie and how thankful they are for the fans. Very nice. Extra there. Next up, we have Flesh Eaters on Film, an interview with co-producer Fabrizio De Angelis. It's 9 minutes and 38 seconds in length. Mr. De Angelis discusses bringing Lucio Fulci in to direct Zombie. He discusses the makeup and special effects team in the film, calling them the Magnificent Seven. He discusses shooting on the Brooklyn Bridge without permits. He discusses how he financed movies back in the day and sold them to different markets. He discusses Dario Argento actually suing the producers of Zombie over the title of the film and it being marketed as a sequel to Dawn of the Dead. Very nice interview with Mr. De Angelis. Next up, we have Dead Time Stories, which features interviews with co-writers Elisa Briganti and Dendaro Sacchetti. It's 14 minutes and 30 seconds in length. Mr. Sacchetti discusses how Zombie started out as a Western zombie movie inspired by the Tex Willer comics. Ms. Briganti discusses stepping in to help with the screenplay after Mr. Sacchetti's father passed away. They discuss Fulci coming aboard to direct the film following a very dark period in his life, which was actually good timing because Fulci had not been a fan of horror movies prior to directing Zombie, and Zombie, of course, was his very first horror film. They discuss the success of Zombie worldwide and how its success spearheaded a boom of Italian horror movies. Very nice interviews with Mr. Sacchetti and Ms. Briganti. Next up, we have World of the Dead, which features interviews with cinematographer Sergio Salvati and production and costume designer Walter Patriarca. It's 16 minutes and 29 seconds in length. Mr. Salvati discusses how they wanted to make an Italian Dawn of the Dead. Mr. Patriarca discusses working with Lucio Fulci and that he could be very demanding. Mr. Salvati discusses how he always liked scenes to make the actors or actresses look their best, but was challenged with Zombie with lighting the zombies to make them look as awful as possible. He also discusses shooting the splinter in the eye scene. Mr. Patriarca discusses designing the sets, including building the mission. Mr. Salvati discusses shooting the sequence on the Brooklyn Bridge and how difficult that was. Very nice interviews with those two. Next up, we have Zombie Italiano, which features interviews with special makeup effects artist Gianetto De Rossi and Mauricio Trani and special effects artist Gino De Rossi. It's 16 minutes and 34 seconds in length. They discuss wanting to give the zombies a look that audiences had never seen before. They discuss shooting the zombie versus shark sequence in Mexico, and that the hardest part was actually finding a shark. They also discuss hooking the shark and letting it swim around the boat for hours until it was exhausted, and then they started filming. Poor shark. They discuss the splinter in the eye sequence and how they pulled it off. They discuss creating all the entrails that the zombies in the film ate and actually making them edible, as one of their wives was a chef. Very nice interview with Mr. DeRossi, Mr. DeRossi, and Mr. Trani. Next up, we have Notes on a Headstone. It's an interview with composer Fabio Frizzi. It's 7 minutes and 25 seconds in length. Mr. Frizzi discusses Fulci's passion for filmmaking and how daring he was when it came to the music in his films. Very nice but brief interview with Mr. Frizzi. Next up, we have Zombie Lover, in which Guillermo del Toro talks about one of his favorite films. It's 9 minutes and 36 seconds in length. Mr. del Toro discusses first seeing Zombie and quote-unquote his mind exploded. He discusses his favorite scenes from the film. He discusses telling his friends at school about Zombie, but no one there believed him because the movie sounded so fantastical. Very nice discussion with Mr. del Toro. There's also an Easter egg on this disc. I won't tell you how to find it, but you should seek it out. It's a pretty amusing little Easter egg. So happy hunting. This is an excellent Blu-ray release for Zombie from the folks over at Blue Underground. If you've not seen Zombie, go out, watch Zombie. This Blu-ray release would be a great way to introduce yourself to the film. If you are a fan of Lucio Fulci's Zombie, you definitely want to look into picking up this Blu-ray and adding it to your collection. The picture quality and the sound quality are both absolutely phenomenal. You've got lots of great extras on here. The presentation is awesome. And again, that lenticular, what a thing of beauty. Just a thing of beauty. If you've seen Zombie, please let me know your thoughts on it down in the comment section below. Please let me know what your favorite Lucio Fulci film is down in the comment section below. If you picked up this release, let me know what lenticular slipcase you went with down in the comments section below. If you like this video, please leave it a thumbs up. If you're not following me on social media, those links are in the description. They're also right around here. As always, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care, and until next time, peace. Join the $1 a Month Club and help support my channel on Patreon. Thank you to my current patrons, Kevin Smythe, Orc145626, B-Movie Mike, Robert Sobel, Turi Delamore, Stephen Flanagan, Lori Holt, Mitch Odell, Farron Sutton, Craig Farrand, Jeremiah Lambert, Grindhouse Grotto, Joseph Charlesworth, Chris Earls, Derek Jana, Demon Waffles, Tim Williams, Stone Gassman, Zachary Barton, Mr. Bibby86, James Welch, Eli Geisler, Jeff Overing, Cliff Hostetter, Cal McGuire, Jay the Stingray, Lauren Dixon, and Travis Davis. Say hello to the internet, Jeremy.
Hello to the internet.